BooTube, hey, I'm voguing, I'm just kidding. But anyway, BooTube, what is up? This is my, reaction rant on Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1, because it is on its first season, Herp and Derp. Episode 3, called Blood Ties. Finally, a legitimate title besides Pilot. I mean, I know usually the first episode of, usually Season 1... in their first episodes usually are called Pilot. I understand that. I let that go for episode 1. But the fact that episode 2 was still titled Pilot, just part 2. It's like, we finally have a legitimate title and it's called Blood Ties for episode 3. So, let's start off. If you guys remember in the ending of episode 2, unfortunately we lost Hawkman himself, Carter Hall, which broke my heart, and I was like, seriously? This is just the second episode, and you're already going to kill one of the team members. It's like, for real? I mean, I know that Carter and Kendra, Hawkman and Hawkgirl, they've been reincarnating all the time, just like, what's-his-face, Vandal Savage and all that shit. But did you have to kill him so soon? I mean, come on, we just met him on The Flash, and we only have, only the second episode of Legends of Tomorrow, and he's already dead. It's like, anyway... after all that happens, Sarah convinces Rip Hunter that another way to stop Vandal Savage is to take away his resources, which is, apparently, his money. They are still stuck in the 70s, by the way, so, during that whole thing, Rip managed to locate a bank in the 70s where Savage has been keeping his money, and he and Sarah, Sarah pretty much volunteers. She's like, I'm not letting you go out there by yourself. I'm going with you. So they go together to go steal the funds. And during that whole ordeal at the bank, Sarah, because she's been trained to be an assassin, notices that everyone in that damn bank is like some sort of hitman or, some sort of assassin or something, you know what I mean? Because she notices mercenary marks on the back of their necks, or she notices a gun behind a desk, or calluses on a hand that usually people use with swords. And so when she pretty much tells Rip, these people that are guarding the bank, they're savage dudes, people. They pretty much take everyone on. And Sarah, she has this moment in the bank where she knocks down pretty much everybody except for the last one. The last person she's about to kill. And Rip pretty much has to stop her from killing the dude, right? And we all remember that, in Arrow, Sarah was brought back to life by the Lazarus Pit. Even though, Thea, who has also been through the Lazarus Pit, Thea did not completely die. She was on the verge of death, but they were both dunked in the Lazarus Pit, and they both have something called bloodlust. And so, because Sarah was dunked in the Lazarus Pit, she has that bloodlust, and she nearly killed the last person that they were taking out. And with the convincing of Rip Hunter, she doesn't kill him, but they hold him captive to try to gain some information on Savage. And basically during all that, Kendra, who was stabbed, after Carter was killed, Kendra was stabbed, but she's still alive. Her condition starts to worsen because they found out that pieces of the dagger that killed Carter and she was stabbed with have broken off, and now there are pieces of the dagger inside Kendra, and they're slowly getting toward her heart. And in order to pretty much save Kendra, Ray, along with the guidance of Professor Stein, Ray shrinks down, and with the guidance of Stein, enters her bloodstream to pretty much stop all the pieces of the dagger that pretty much stabs Kendra from reaching her heart. And they did the first time, Ray managed to maybe shoot one or two of those pieces of dagger, but I don't know, I don't know what happened, but I think he got knocked down a little bit, but at the same time, I think he freaked out a little bit, because he straight up got out of there, and he's all like, I can't do this, I'm gonna fail her. And there's this moment where Ray kind of talks to Stein about how he's lost somebody, one person, and Stein finds out that Ray has lost his fiance during the raid, Deathstroke's little raid on Arrow, and they kind of like bond over that. Stein tells Ray that he could save someone. He may not have been able to save his fiance, but he could save Kendra if he I don't really know what to say. I can't really remember what he completely said as a speech, but he pretty much convinces Ray, you can save her. You couldn't have saved your fiance, but you can save Kendra. And what I thought was pretty funny though was when Ray first shrank down and entered the bloodstream the first time, Stein made this cute little comment where he's like, in your size, the pieces of the dagger will look like icebergs. And this is the cute part. I thought this was highly hilarious. After Stein said they're like icebergs, you can't miss them, Ray makes the funniest comment, which I think is the funniest little Easter egg they've ever put because of the actor who plays Stein. Ray pretty much says, that's not what something about Titanic. And that is the cutest Easter egg because the actor who played Stein did play, I don't remember the name of the character, but that actor did play a character on Titanic. And if I remember correctly, the character that Stein's actor played was the guy who actually built the Titanic. Like, he designed the Titanic. So that little Easter egg to Titanic and the iceberg and all that was freaking adorable. I laughed so hard when I saw that. I was like, I can't believe I actually caught that. But then again, when I was growing up, believe it or not, I'm sorry if I sound stuffy, by the way. I was sneezing like crazy and my nose is stuffy now. But anyway, it may not look like it, but when I was growing up, believe it or not, I watched Titanic like crazy. I don't know what it was, but when it comes to movies in my childhood, when it came to movies that are based on like real things, like real events, like Titanic, I tend to watch it over and over again, right? And so that was the case with Titanic, and that's why, because I watched Titanic so many times growing up, I caught that little spoof to Titanic and the iceberg and the fact that actor who plays Stein is the same actor who played in the movie Titanic. That was brilliant. That was golden. I loved it. But anyway, I love also the bond between Ray and Stein, mainly because Ray was one of Stein's students. So I like that bonding moment they had, and Stein giving Ray encouragement that he could save people. That was like totally awesome. And again during that episode, Snart, we find out that Snart apparently wants to steal something in this central city in the 70s. Apparently is an emerald. And of course, Heatwave goes with him, and they manage to, I wouldn't say blackmail, but they managed to convince Jax, who was, I think, fixing, like, I want to call it a mini ship. It's like, those ships, like futuristic ships that like have escape pods, kind of like what you see in Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like escape pods and stuff like that. Or like, what was that one movie / comic? I don't know if it's a comic, but I know it's a movie. Extraordinary Gentleman or something like that. I don't know the full name, but I know it had something to do with Extraordinary Gentleman or something like that. And the dude's ship had like this little pod, which pretty much was like an exploration pod, like a separate mini ship that they used to explore and stuff. It's kind of like that here in this episode. Rip Hunter has something very similar, like a little exploration pod attached to his ship, and Jax was fixing it up because, he's like an auto mechanic. Sorry. My nose. Hang on. I'm so sorry, I'm flipping out because I have a TV like right there, and I just realized that one of the actors in this highly somewhat old-ish show, like this is an old episode, and I just realized the actor here that's being questioned is the same actor who's in Supergirl. That's why I'm like freaking out right now, because Little Win, the actor who plays Win on Supergirl, he's like right here in this old episode of Law & Order SVU, and I'm like, what? But anyway, sorry, back to the thing, like I said, Jax was fixing this little exhibition mini ship thing that was pretty much attached to the ship, Rip's ship. And Rip asked Jax to fix it because he's an auto mechanic, and he's like, dude, auto mechanic, this is like futuristic ship. How am I supposed to fix this, all that? But anyway, I'm sorry, I see the actor like right there in my face, and I'm laughing my ass off right now. But anyway, my bad. I was like totally forget because I kept seeing his face. But anyway, while he's fixing that, Snart and Rory end up on the ship and manage somehow to convince Jax to drive, to like pretty much drop them off at that museum place where the emerald is. This is what I thought was interesting. When I saw that emerald thingy, dude, the emerald did not even look like an emerald. That thing straight up looks like kryptonite to me. I don't know about you guys. You guys could put in the comments. I don't know about you, but that shit looks like kryptonite. That does not look like an emerald. That looks like kryptonite. And if it is, that is badass that they managed to put kryptonite. No, you know what? Not even the quotations for that. The fact that if that is kryptonite, the fact that they put kryptonite and pretended it was an emerald is amazing. I'm not even shitting you. But like during all that, Snart does steal the emerald and manages to convince Jax to take him somewhere else, and Rory actually tells Jax that the place that Snart wanted to go was apparently somewhere where he grew up. And apparently during that whole thing, Snart wanted to attempt to change his own family fate by preventing his father from entering prison. And how he did that was apparently the emerald he stole was supposedly an emerald that his dad stole like 2 days later in the 70s and ends up going to jail. And after he comes out of jail, he becomes abusive and stuff like that. So that's why Snart stole the emerald ahead of time to try to prevent his father from entering prison, right? And he has this connection, like, he sees his father, but at the same time he sees a childhood version of himself. And he manages to do like a little heart-to-heart with little Leo, I said Leonard, right? Little Leo. And it was really interesting because you actually see that, you know, Leo, freaking Snart, he hardened his heart basically because he never wanted to get hurt again. And so that's why he acts the way he is. That's why he talks to people the way he does, is because he doesn't want to get hurt again like he did with his father. And you kind of feel for Snart here in this episode, which I'm like, not gonna lie, I was highly surprised by. I didn't think I'd actually, you know, feel like sadness for Snart. You understand why he seems cold and disheartened from everybody else. It's because he doesn't want to get hurt again like he did with his father. And so he hardened himself. And you actually learned that here. And it was really interesting. But anyway, there's so much to say in this. I'm running out of time, so I'm probably going to finish the rest of this in apparently a part 2 episode. But I'll see you in a part 2 for this one. And yeah, after I hopefully finish everything in this part 2 video for this episode, I will get the 2 Supergirl episodes that I'm missing, which are Strange Visitor from Another Planet, which is episode 11, and Bizarro, episode 12. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, Boto.